On my MVP slot, I've usually done the quarterback, but I went a little bit different just to try and get different from the field. And so I went with Amon-Ra St. Brown in that MVP spot to get the 1.5 times points. And the big reason why, as I said, I have yet to really see the Baltimore secondary limit and be able to impose their will. And so does that happen tonight? It might, Dave, just on the predicate of two of the big-time pass rushers, Metabuke and Van Noy, are not going to be active for Baltimore. And so that front seven, what kind of pressure can you get on Jared Goff? If it's minimal, then give me Jared Goff to go to one of his favorite targets. I've also put Goff and Sam LaPorta in there in that same lineup because LaPorta, the tight ends, have absolutely ravaged Baltimore's defense. I think they are second to last or third to last in limiting tight end production. So I love Sam LaPorta tonight. And then no surprise here, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews. And then a little salary saver with Rashad Bateman. Couldn't fit Zay Flowers in that build, so went kind of with another alternate receiver. You're not going to see Derrick Henry there. And I think a lot of that also, this could be up and down. And I know I played the under, so this is more of a pivot on this lineup that if we did get a high-scoring game, then I'd rather be on that side here from the daily fantasy perspective.
Yeah, I'm still fascinated. Again, you can find some 5.5s out there on this number here for the Ravens tonight. Right behind me here at Circa here in Franklin, it's going to be the same out there in Las Vegas. It's 4. So we're seeing some different numbers associated with this game for side and total. We'll get to that in a second. But you've got the FanDuel lineup already set up. What about our friends over at DraftKings? How different does your lineup look here as you bet this build?
Yeah, so this one coming as no surprise that more bonuses for touchdowns here. I went with Lamar Jackson in that captain spot and also just pivoted on the wide receiving core. Mentioned that couldn't get Zay Flowers in that FanDuel build, so have him in the DraftKings one. Everyone else the same. Goff, LaPorta, Andrews, and Bateman. And again, just a different way to try and find a way to leverage the field. Yes, I would imagine a lot of people are going to run Lamar out in that captain spot. I'm hoping that the run game isn't, where it is with Derrick Henry tonight or with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So I'm feeling aerial attacks tonight. And if so, both these lineups should be able to cash.
Yeah, I like that. Let's talk more, too, about this game script here, because when you have Lamar in that captain spot here for DraftKings, I can understand why. Again, not for nothing, Josh Allen, congratulations, you're the MVP. Could easily have been his third MVP here for Lamar Jackson last year. How do you think the Lions will try to go about slowing down Lamar? It feels like this ultimate double-edged sword, that if you try to take away 8 with his legs, he can certainly beat you over the top. So they struggled. Detroit did week 1 against Green Bay. But they actually played better defense in the second half. Completely shut down the Bears last week. Is it really going to come down to, can the Lions slow down 8 enough for them to be playable at 4.5, 5 points out there?
It certainly could. If you look at some of the trends, and it's a real... it's a real, who do you like spot? Who would you rather go to battle with? The Lions, when they play on the road before a non-division game in the last couple of years, are 9-2 straight up. So something to think about here. And that's also alongside, as I said, I think one of the headliners tonight is how much of the pass rush gets to Jared Goff. Does he have time? And if he does, feel like he could pick apart that Baltimore defense tonight. It might be up and down the field. Now, when Baltimore plays as a home team and as a favorite against the non-division opponent, and that would be the Detroit Lions, coming off of 2 games in which the over hit, Dave, they are 22-2 straight up, 14-9-1 against the number, with the over hitting at a 13-11 clip. Even more so if you like the Ravens side, when they're a home team as a favorite, when they have allowed between 14 and 21 points against in their last game, and that was the case when you look at where they were with the Browns, 12-3 against the number. So depending on where you got it, they're 13-2 straight up too. So you have 2 pretty heavy straight up trends here in favor of both sides. But to answer your question roundaboutly from a scheme standpoint, if you are Detroit, you have to get out to a fast start, because I think you would rather want to force Lamar to have to beat you through the air and not be allowed to lean on Derrick Henry in that run game to burn clock and limit possessions. So I would look for a fast start or at least an emphasis on really forcing the issue with the Lions in the passing attack.
This is interesting. I grabbed the Lions here to go back and check my account at plus 310 after the Week 1 loss to the Packers. Once they drifted past $3, I hopped in there at plus 310 to win this division. Now, right now, it's plus 255. That could, if they lose tonight, it could go right back to $3 because, again, remember, they did lose Week 1 to the Packers. So that's kind of that game in hand, if you will, for Green Bay. Green Bay is still odds on to win the division, but after that really surprising loss yesterday in Cleveland, they are $1.30. And I think my bigger question is Minnesota. They're plus 425 now at 2-1. So think about that. The Lions haven't even played yet this week at 1-1, and they're plus 255. And yet the Vikings, with the extra win, which was also a divisional win against the Bears, are sitting there, and you can get them at over $4. Is there any value there? Or do you think the value still would be to the Packers side, even though you have to lay $1.30?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not going anywhere in the NFC North. I'm going back to the Niners. I think as far as an NFC and a conference title is concerned, you and I both know that NFC North is going to be black and blue by the time we get to December. Matt LaFleur, again, later in the year, one of the great ATS wagons that you can jump onto. I just happen to put it together, and it's ironic we go back. Both teams undefeated, Dave, and the Super Bowl is in Santa Clara this year. The undefeated Niners and the undefeated Chargers. Right now, that Super Bowl exacta is still 63-1. I mean,
wow.
I'd be hard-pressed not to at least get something on that. For where both teams are. Look, the Niners have weathered these couple of weeks without Brock Purdy. The Chargers are 3-0 and 3-0 in the AFC West. And so you look at just kind of where the pecking order may be. I'm looking for a potential inroad into that number 1 seed on the NFC side. And already the loss for the Packers, even though it's to the Browns. I mean, again, you're looking at teams where if it comes down to games you should have won, that's where the Niners, I think, have the edge here, and the Eagles as well. Okay, they weren't pretty, but they got it done. Packers, it wasn't a pretty game against Cleveland, but that's a game you may look back and be like, God, we gave that one away, and we should be 3-0 as well.
I'm still stunned when I look at the updated NFC West odds to that, and Niners are odds on. They should be at 3-0 right now, and a key divisional win yesterday against Arizona, minus $1.05. Rams with that just disheartening loss is plus 205. Seattle, I really like this Seattle team here, 2-1 at plus 650. I thought should have beat the Niners Week 1, didn't get it done. Look at the Cardinals, a 1-point loss, and they're 8-1 to win the division. That feels really out of whack to me. But again, through 3 weeks, kudos to the Niners. But I think there's some longer numbers there, the NFC West, that you might want to look at in Seattle and possibly Arizona as well.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at zero cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.